Double bombshell. £40 million star wanted by Liverpool confesses, "I've always been Arsenal." And twist in Dean Huijsen's move to Real Madrid could hand Gunners a decisive advantage. Another big day for Arsenal, and if you carry this club in your heart like we do, you're in the right place. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because every victory, every signing, every heartbreak, we live it all together. Let's jump into today's news. Premier League players always perform for the badge on their shirt, but each player does still have their own personal club allegiances. Indeed, every player grows up supporting a team, and sometimes you don't get the chance to play for the team you support. Arsenal are a team that have a number of notable fans dotted across the Premier League. Ollie Watkins grew up an Arsenal fan, and Watkins is on Arsenal's radar this summer. Meanwhile, Dominic Solanke grew up supporting Arsenal despite the fact he's now Tottenham's number 9. On top of that, Chelsea's Pedro Neto is also a known Arsenal supporter. Now, another big-name Premier League star has admitted they grew up supporting Arsenal. Antonee Robinson admits he was an Arsenal fan. Speaking to Fulham's media team, Antonee Robinson admitted that he grew up supporting Arsenal as a kid. Robinson has been brilliant for Fulham this season, so much so that he's been linked with a move to Liverpool. Liverpool want Robinson in a deal that could be worth £40 million. However, Robinson has now admitted he has a soft spot for Liverpool's rivals. "What's your favorite away stadium?" Robinson was asked. "I really like St. James's Park, a good old stadium. The atmosphere is sick. The Emirates as well is probably my favorite. I grew up an Arsenal fan," Robinson said. Robinson grew up an Arsenal fan, and he may well harbor dreams of playing for the Gunners one day. However, if Robinson were to head to the Emirates, he'd face some seriously stiff competition at left back in the shape of Miles Lewis-Skelly. Indeed, Robinson already knows how good Lewis-Skelly is, praising him earlier this season. "Miles Lewis-Skelly, what do you make of a kid at his age, 18 years old, doing what he's doing?" Robinson was asked. It's incredible to see. I mean, especially when they've just spent money on, Calafiori coming in. Like, the fact that the manager's done that. He's fit, but he trusts this young lad to step in and play in general. Like, you don't see, it doesn't happen often, Robinson said. "I think just overall in football, it's really hard for a manager to put a trust in a 17, 18-year-old. And then his performances, he's been top. He's built. He's a proper unit. He hangs about with men completely comfortably, and technically he looks really good. He's got that little dirty bit. He's got the dirty bit, and that's the bit, I promise you, that can be all the difference sometimes, isn't it?" Robinson could be headed to Anfield rather than the Emirates this summer, and it would be interesting to see how the USA international got on in a title race with the club he adored so much as a child. Dean Huijsen transfer twist emerges for Real Madrid. That could be good news for Arsenal. Arsenal, Liverpool, and Chelsea all still remain keen to sign Dean Huijsen this summer. The young Spanish defender is a wanted man after a really impressive season under Andoni Iraola at Bournemouth. Despite all the interest in the Premier League, Real Madrid are in the driving seat to sign Huijsen, and an agreement between the clubs has already been reached. Discussions over personal terms are ongoing in Spain, but an agreement on that does not exist as things stand. That could now blow the race for Huijsen wide open. Dean Huijsen's agents could reconsider Arsenal, Liverpool, and Chelsea moves. When Real Madrid want to sign a player, they usually get it done. The Galacticos have already sealed a deal to land Trent Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool, while Xabi Alonso is all set to be appointed as their new manager. The focus now ahead of the Club World Cup is a new center half, and Dean Huijsen is clearly the top target. The expectation in recent days has been that he will join them, but there could now be a twist. Cave Solacol has revealed that the defender's agents have decided to reconsider offers from the Premier League if Real Madrid don't meet their demands by the end of Friday. The Sky Sports journalist said on X, "Dean Huijsen's representatives hoping to agree personal terms with Real Madrid today, Thursday, or tomorrow, Friday. If not agreed by tomorrow, they are prepared to reconsider offers from Premier League clubs. Newcastle, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, all interested. Real Madrid are still the favorites to sign Huijsen this summer. The Spanish giants rarely ever fail to land their key targets, and history suggests that they will agree terms with Huijsen. But if an agreement can't be reached there, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool should do everything they can to land him this summer. Bournemouth want £50 million for Heisen, and that can be paid in 3 installments. The interested clubs in England will be able to afford that easily. Arsenal already called Huijsen's camp to understand if they can enter talks if the defender's move to Real Madrid collapses. It didn't seem like there was much hope, but that could change in the coming hours. Arsenal now have one major concern about Ollie Watkins ahead of potential summer move. Arsenal will be eager to strengthen their attack this summer as they prepare for the new season. The Gunners looked like genuine title contenders at one stage, but Liverpool ultimately pulled away to win the Premier League by a 15-point margin. Injuries to attackers disrupted Mikel Arteta's plans, forcing makeshift solutions like using Mikel Merino up front. While he has done a decent job, the injuries to key players impacted Arsenal's game. Arteta had hoped to sign a new forward in the January transfer window, with Arsenal submitting a bid for Aston Villa striker Ollie Watkins, but the move fell through after Villa opted to sell John Duran to the Saudi Pro League instead. Arsenal continued to be linked with Watkins ahead of the summer transfer window, although there are some concerns. According to The Athletic, Berta is keeping a close eye on Ollie Watkins' situation, and while Arteta is said to be a big fan of the player, the club does have concerns over paying a fee of over £40 million for him considering his age. Watkins was reportedly disappointed by Aston Villa's refusal to sell him in January, and also expressed frustration after being left on the bench during their Champions League clash with PSG. With Berta monitoring Watkins' situation, it remains to be seen how his future shapes up in the summer. Arsenal showed interest in Ollie Watkins back in January, and while he may still be on their radar, the Gunners now have a wider pool of attacking options to consider ahead of the summer window. Arsenal have been linked with Alexander Isach, while RB Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko is also linked with a move to the Gunners. And with the North London club now having concerns over paying the significant fee for Watkins, they could opt to go big on someone like Isach instead. But in case Berta does decide to make a move for the Aston Villa star, Sam Allardyce believes Watkins will jump at the opportunity to join Arsenal. Speaking on the No Tippy Tappy Football podcast, he said, "I think if Arsenal are still interested, Ollie Watkins will do his very best to leave now." £150 million player is the reason Arsenal haven't gone all in on Victor Gyökeres ahead of this summer. Arsenal's search for a new striker is about to heat up as we head into this summer transfer window. Arsenal will sign a new striker this summer, and there are a number of options the Gunners are considering. Ollie Watkins has been linked to Arsenal, while Benjamin Sesko is on Arsenal's radar. Arsenal are also very keen on Victor Gyökeres, but according to Ben Jacobs, speaking on Curtis Shaw TV, Arsenal haven't gone all in on Gyökeres yet due to the fact they're waiting to see if another avenue opens up. Indeed, according to Jacobs, Arsenal's eggs aren't all in the Gyökeres basket just yet, as they still want to gauge whether or not Alexander Isaac will become available this summer. Jacobs shared what he knows about Arsenal and their search for a new striker. According to the journalist, Arsenal are not putting all of their eggs in the Gyökeres basket right now, as they're waiting until the end of the season to see if Alexander Isaac will be available from Newcastle. Then you have the dream target in Alexander Isaac. I think why we might not see all the eggs in the Gyökeres basket today or tomorrow is just because at the end of the season it will be clearer if Alexander Isaac is genuinely available for a number, or whether if Newcastle have got Champions League football he comes completely off the table. Jacobs said, Arsenal would love to sign Alexander Isaac this summer, but if they are to go for that deal, it will be hugely expensive. Indeed, according to Jacobs, Isaac will cost £150 million this summer, which would represent a record fee for Arsenal. We hear this number out there, that £150 million as the price Newcastle are willing to sell for. While sources don't entirely deny that figure, it would comfortably be a British transfer record. It's not a number they're offering to suitors. Suitors are waiting in order to be respectful to Newcastle. You need to have a great relationship with Newcastle, and approaching them as they try to qualify for Champions League is completely the wrong timing, Jacobs said. If this £150 million number is genuine, it comes from sources and insiders and conversations that I've had, but it's stressed by the same sources that they're not giving that number to the market. £150 million is a lot of money, but Isaac is arguably the best striker in the world right now, so in a lot of ways it would be money well spent by the Gunners. And that wraps up today's biggest Arsenal news. If you enjoyed the update and want to stay on top of everything happening with the Gunners, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Come on, Arsenal!